Welcome back to our Advent journey with Our Lady of Guadalupe and Saint Juan Diego. I am your host, Luis Diego Carranza, and I am proud and thrilled that today, being day number 9, you're here with us, you're still with us, and we're diving into this crucial moment, diving into week number 2. Right after Juan Diego has been rejected by the bishop and he goes back to Our Lady of Guadalupe. Now, as you know, yesterday we heard this big whole chunk of the next apparition, everything we'll be looking into during this week, this very packed week. But today we're just diving into this moment when he goes before Our Lady of Guadalupe and just, tells her everything that happened. What he says reveals one of the most common struggles that we face in our relationship with the Lord. Today we're going to look into unworthiness and how there's such a big emotion and sensation that comes whenever we experience failure or opposition. Let's listen to this segment, and as always, we'll be able to look into our own lives through the light of Our Lady of Guadalupe and Saint Juan Diego. As soon as he saw her, he bowed low before her, casting himself upon the ground, and he said, "My little patroness, my lady, my queen, my little daughter, my maiden, I went as you commanded to fulfill your venerable breath, your venerable word. Though it was difficult to gain entrance to the palace of the ruler priest, I did see him, and before him I set forth your venerable message, just as you directed me. He received me kindly and listened attentively, yet by the answer he gave it seemed that his heart did not recognize it, did not hold it as true. He told me, 'You will return another time. I will hear you again with calm. From the beginning I will examine what you say. What is your will? What is your desire? I will look into it well.' Such was his reply, as though he thought that the divine house you desire here is perhaps an invention of mine, or not truly from your venerable lips. Therefore, I beg you greatly, my lady, my queen, my little maiden, that you entrust your venerable word to one of the noblemen, someone known, respected, honored, that he might carry it, that he might bring it, so that they may believe him. For I am truly a man of the countryside, a common laborer, a porter's rope, a worn-out frame. I am only the tail, the wing. I myself need to be led, carried on another's back. It is not my place to go, nor to remain where you send me, my lady, my girl, my child, my little girl. Please forgive me, lest I bring sorrow to your face, grief to your heart. I fear to fall into your anger, into your displeasure, my lady, my mistress." Just before we jump into reflecting on this segment, I wanted to apologize and just say that, hey, my accent is, I'm from Mexico, originally from Mexico. I've lived in the US and I've been with an English education ever since I started my education. I've been bilingual most of my life, all my life, really. So, and regardless, I know that there are certain words that you might, listen and say, this guy, come on, man, you should perfect your pronunciation. So I'm sorry. Nevertheless, I think, regardless of our limitations, we can still fulfill God's mission for us, or God's invitation for our lives. And actually, that's kind of what Juan Diego experiences, right? Like he's not the most equipped man for the job, or at least that's how he feels. Now, how often do things God dreams for us never see the light of day because we tell ourselves that we're unworthy? We think, I'm not called to something great. Come on, I can't even pronounce these words right. How could God possibly use someone as lowly or inadequate as me? Now, Juan Diego struggles with this exact same emotion from what we heard in this segment today. He uses incredibly humble language, calling himself a common laborer, a porter's rope, by saying, I'm only the tail, the wing. He knows he's small, and he's trying to be humble, but he crosses a line when he tells the Queen of Heaven to send someone else, someone known, respected, honored, to carry her message. Now, this is different. There's a massive difference between true humility and unworthiness disguised as humility. Humility is the path to hope. It's knowing your limits and trusting God's power to work through your weaknesses. But the lie of unworthiness is that which tells us, don't even bother approaching God. You don't deserve it. You're not adequate. He won't use you. He can't. That lie always suffocates hope. In our path to conversion, we see that Juan Diego's genuine humility allowed him to accept the mission in the first place. But his human frailty surfaces when he asks Mary to replace him. He has taken the bishop's polite rejection personally, assuming his low status is the reason for his failure. I guarantee there are things God has placed on your heart that you don't feel worthy of. A project, a vocation, a ministry, or even a simple act of kindness or goodness. What excuses masked as unworthiness or indignity are preventing you from being part of God's plan for your life? I always like to think of this big difference. Remember the Roman soldier who approached Jesus and says, "Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof." Of course we remember that moment. But this guy, this Roman soldier, was not actually feeling unworthy, just like Juan Diego is right now. There's a big difference. This Roman soldier is actually recognizing that Jesus has a higher rank, and there's not enough social dignity for him to enter his house. He is recognizing himself as a lowly man, but the Roman soldier adds, "But only say the word and my son shall be healed. But only say the word and he shall be healed." He recognizes the hope that there is. And although he is not worthy to receive Jesus in his room, in his house, Jesus is still loving, and Jesus might still be interested in helping him. Juan Diego, on the other hand, right now, feels unworthy, totally unworthy. As I'm not adequate for this mission. Indignity, unworthiness is very different to humility. This Roman soldier, although he's saying that I am not worthy, he's actually being humble and recognizing like a social rank kind of thing. Like who's got power and authority. But Jesus, when he responds to the soldier, doesn't say, "Hey man, no, look, you're worthy. Come on, don't say that." No, he actually does recognize it and say, "I have not found in Israel a man with such faith." Now, I think that's a big difference that we can see in our own hearts. Today, I want to invite you to confront these feelings with the truth of your identity. Let's take a look at today at who we really are. And take a genuinely honest inventory of who you are today. What makes you unique and unrepeatable? What are the gifts that God has given you? Holding fast to this awareness of your unique identity in Christ, I want to invite you to confront it, every thought and feeling of unworthiness that you get today or that you have. Remember this crucial truth. You do not dignify yourself. God himself is the one who has made you worthy, and he calls you by name. The person that Mary chose to be her messenger was Juan Diego. The person God chooses to accomplish his will is you. Don't let your self-doubt sabotage the most beautiful mission that he has for your life. Thank you for joining us on this Advent journey today with Our Lady of Guadalupe, and we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. This podcast is brought to you by Juan Diego Network, a project by Juan Diego and Friends Incorporated, a nonprofit seeking to attract people on the internet to in-person Christian community and the sacraments. Visit JuanDiegoandFriends.com to check out our other missionary initiatives.